Hello and welcome to this episode of Natter with Niamh. Today I wanted to talk about boundaries. The dictionary definition of a boundary is a line that marks or limits an area. And so you're thinking, what do boundaries have to do with me or my relationships? And most of us who've been hanging around the personal development world for a while will have come across this term, boundaries. Some of us may know what it means, and some of us may still be quite confused as to what a boundary is and how it can help us. Now, a boundary is not a wall you build, a fence you put up, or a cage you put yourself in. A boundary is a limit you set. It can be energetic, but it's clear and it's firm. And it's a way of protecting your space, your energy, your values, your personal space, your character. A boundary is your way of telling somebody else, this is not right for me. Boundaries don't have to be cruel. They don't have to be harsh. You can enforce boundaries gently, with love, with kindness, with compassion, with caring. But you do have to enforce them. So how do you know whether you have boundaries or not? Well, if you feel permanently exhausted, if you feel like your time is never your own, if you feel like you're constantly chasing your tail, if you feel like your to-do list is never ending, if you feel resentful in any of your relationships, the chances are that you don't have either strong boundaries or any boundaries in at all. The chances are that you are saying yes to anything and everybody without thinking about what you actually need and want. And that's a problem. But I'm not judging you and I'm not criticizing you here. I was there. I know that feeling all too well. That little people pleaser child inside of you who wants to be loved and wants to be liked and thinks that saying yes to everything is the way to get there. Or the good girl, again, the one who is expected to just put up and shut up and do everything she was told or asked to do. That little girl was never taught how to put in boundaries. That little girl was never taught to say no. In fact, she was taught the very, very opposite. She was taught that boundaries were bad, that she needed to say yes in order to be loved. But I've got news for you. You don't. You can say no and people will still love you and still respect you. And in fact, their love and respect for you may even grow when you stop acting like a doormat and stop standing up for yourself. They will see you as stronger. They will know they can't walk all over you. And the more you enforce your boundaries, the more they will respect them and respect you for it. So let's get clear on what a boundary is. It doesn't mean that you have to say no to absolutely everything and never do something for somebody ever again. It doesn't mean that you turn into a selfish, uncaring person. What it means is that you put in place rules, if you like, around your energy, around your personal needs and wants and desires, so that they're kept sacred for you that you stop doing the things for people that you actually really don't want to do, or that they could possibly do themselves. A real life example for me was, for years and years and years, I would help my ex look for his keys. He was always losing his keys, and I would spend hours searching the house, asking some not very useful questions about where he might have left them last, where he'd been, getting him to retrace his steps, which just made him frustrated. And the thing is that I would always end up finding his keys. It was a waste of time for both me and him, because what I was doing was allowing him to be careless with his keys. I thought I was helping. I thought I was being useful, and part of me wanted to be needed, and that part of me that wanted to be needed actually liked looking for the keys, because then I was needed, wasn't I? He still needed me in some form or other. Whereas another part of me really resented traipsing around the house, looking here, looking there, looking everywhere, when I had other things to do. And here I was yet again spending hours searching for something that wasn't mine, that I hadn't lost. And there came a day when I just said to him, no, I'm busy. You'll have to find them yourselves. And lo and behold, he did. In fact, what started to happen was he started to put his keys in the same place. Every time when he came in, he would take his keys out of the door, shut the door, put his keys on the side in exactly the same place. Because once I started running around after him, once I created that boundary, I gave him permission, if you like, in a way, to not lose his keys. I wasn't needing to be needed anymore. And that had a huge impact for both of us. It saved a lot of time, it saved a lot of frustration, it saved a lot of resentment. And the first time I said, no, I'm not looking for your keys, I'll admit it felt horrible. It felt very scary. And it took a few minutes for me to kind of sit with it, and I sat and I wondered, should I actually go and help him? Am I being selfish and mean saying no? But I had other things to do. I needed to get on with them. And I'm so glad that I stuck with that. And that became a firm boundary. I wasn't going to help people look for their things anymore, because that wasn't helping them and it wasn't helping me. Now that's just an example of one boundary. You can put in a very simple boundary. Another boundary might be not always answering your text messages straight away. If you're in the middle of something, you can leave the phone to one side. You cannot answer your text messages, and you don't need to explain yourself either. Your boundaries don't need explanations. And I know it's hard, especially if you've always said yes. I understand that saying no, that putting in that boundary and that protection around yourself is going to be scary. But I can assure you that you will feel better for it, and that life will feel better for it once you've established firm boundaries. You don't have to go all in and do something huge. Just do something little to start with. It takes practice, like everything in life. And we're never going to be perfect. But you can practice with the small things. If this is something that you'd like to discuss or would like some help with, please do reach out and let's have a chat. Or if you would like to tell me about a boundary that you've put in place, please tell us in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And I look forward to seeing you or hearing from you on the next episode of Natter with Niamh. Thank you.